working with the term simply today, simply experiencing everyone's divinity, but what does that simplicity mean? And I looked at simply and the notion of simple in a couple different aspects. And I wanted to remind us on our journey where we came from. We've been looking at this notion of simplicity, and one of the terms we looked at before was this notion of genuine, unconditional delight with another. I want to tell you the Martian story. Curiosity is traveling right now 13,000 miles an hour. This is the most unique landing of all, because what they're going to do is they're going to drop the lander on a string from this thing up in the Martian sky. They drop the lander on a tether, and they drop it down, and it drops down, and then it lands onto the surface. So it's dust-free at this point. And then the Martian lander named Curiosity can go about its mission. They're now convinced that they're going to be able to find the markers for life on Mars at some point. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Aaron Collins, he passed away just before he turned 30, rather suddenly. And he knew he was going to pass away. And he said to his family on his deathbed, "What I'd like you to do is give some money away. Go give a big tip. Like go to a pizzeria and leave $500 for the waitress." A week after he passed away, his brother and his mother, they actually raised money to collect $500. And they went into a pizzeria. And they gave their waitress a $500 tip. And they recorded it on YouTube. Because they wanted Aaron's legacy to have some legs underneath it, to have some life and sustainability underneath it. So they put it up on YouTube. It went all over the place. They got called up to go to CBS morning show. And within a month, they now have an account with $50,000 to give big tips away. They've actually earmarked the $50,000 is just to be given away. Just to give away to someone. Now, the waitress, can you imagine being the waitress? Being told, "We're giving you $500 because it was our brother's dying wish that you get a big tip." The waitress was completely unable to speak at that point. But I don't think that Aaron's act, while it's unique in its idea, I don't think the nature behind his act is unique. I think there's something in our humanity that wants us to say, I want to contribute in a way to life. I want to contribute to others in a way that there's an impact. I want the impact to be felt. I want the impact to be heard. So Aaron's idea, his dying wish was, family, go out and make contributions to people in a big way. And they were relatively poor people. They didn't have $500 cash in Kentucky. And all of a sudden, they put it out there that this is what they're going to do. And the money found its way to them because they were committed to fulfilling his idea of how he wanted to contribute. Eric Martin. He was born with a partial heart. His heart wasn't completely formed. And other congenital illnesses. And at 14, he was a little underdeveloped, and the doctors told his foster parents that he was probably not going to live much longer. And so he entered the Make-A-Wish Foundation, took him under their wing. And they asked him, "Eric, what's your wish?" And Eric said, I want to be a superhero for a day. So he designed his costume to be Electron Boy. And the city of Seattle rallied around the Make-A-Wish Foundation to make his Hero Day happen. Tens of thousands of volunteers got involved in making this boy's Hero Day happen. They set up a evil nemesis for him to fight, Dr. Dark, who captured the Seattle professional soccer team in the arena, and he locked them up, and Eric came to save the professional soccer team. And he vanquished Dr. Dark and was able to save the professional soccer team. They actually had 3 events around the city of Seattle for him to go rescue people in distress. The soccer team was the first one. He saved a utility worker who was stuck in his, those things that extend so that they're, what are they called? Cherry picker. He's stuck in his cherry picker, and so he needed a superhero to come rescue him and bring the cherry picker down to the ground. The mayor of Seattle proclaimed it to be Eric Martin Electron Boy Day. And every place he went, crowds were cheering for Electron. When asked, Eric said, "This is the best day I've ever had." He died about a year later. Can't imagine anybody saying no to a request. Would you like to join us at the Seattle Dome to celebrate this boy's triumph over Dr. Dark? Would you go? I'd go. I'd celebrate Electron Boy up and down, left and right. Sometimes inside of New Thought, we think we have a corner of the market on spirituality. I propose that we reframe that everybody who contributes to the uplifting of another human being is living a spiritual life. It doesn't matter what your denomination is when you show up at the Seattle Dome to celebrate Eric. What we're doing is we're really being elevated and are lifting him up. What we're doing is we are living fully our humanity in the contribution to someone else. And that for me really is about service. It's really about serving others. When we serve others, our pettiness, our troubles seem to evaporate. I'm not saying that you're petty. I'm saying my pettiness, my trouble. When I'm serving someone else, it just doesn't seem to be as important or necessary or challenging when I've got something bigger than myself to contribute to serve. The commandments are summed up in this one command: love your neighbor as yourself. Love is the fulfillment of the law.